They had a month of what seemed like normal life was supposed to feel like. She and Drew went to their jobs, called and texted each other during the days, got together for supper most evenings, and enjoyed each other's company through the weekends. She still got together with the girls for their girls' nights. They all stayed close together and never left their drinks unattended. The police came up with dead ends when it came to Curtis. The Cherry Creek dealership didn't have a Curtis working for them, and none of the employees fit Curtis's description. There was no video of him, no pictures, and nothing that they could do. The police gave her tips to keep her safe during public drinking, and her friends kept vigil over each other. She also tried to be more thoughtful of Drew's feelings. Despite her being independent for most of her life, she understood his role as a man. Men needed to be the protectors, the rocks. It was all in their DNA. She started out small, asking him to do little things around her house, things that normally she would either take care of or hire a maintenance man. She wanted to show him she could change. He eagerly jumped in, and she was surprised at how talented he was with his hands, outside of the bedroom. She was enjoying the domesticated routine that they were falling into, but was curious whether they were going to sneak away any time soon. Summer was almost over, and she wanted to go hiking in the cool mountains before it was over. She decided she would bring it up to Drew tonight over supper. The idea of grilling steaks and eating on her porch with a couple of cold beers sounded divine. It was a gorgeous day, and her patio would be shaded perfectly by evening. She texted Drew to make sure he was still going to be there by 5. Seeing his affirmation, she pulled the New York steaks out of the fridge to bring them to room temperature and grabbed the salad fixings. The rice she could make while the steaks were grilling. She was still peeling and slicing the hard-boiled eggs when the doorbell rang. Excitement fluttered in her stomach, a feeling that happened every time she saw Drew. Flinging the door open, she pulled him in through the door, planting a big kiss on his lips as she moved backwards. He wrapped his arms around her waist and growled against her lips. She giggled at the tickle it caused against her mouth. "You are early, handsome, but I'm not complaining." He held up a six-pack of beer and used a charming English accent. "I brought alcoholic beverages to ply my lady with." She grabbed his collar and pulled him closer to peck him on the lips. "You don't need any alcohol, my lord. I'll lie with you any time." She saw his eyebrow raise in surprise, and she relished the thrill it brought in her stomach. She turned him on. Her, a normal, everyday gal, turned on this handsome, golden Adonis. She truly felt so lucky. Grabbing the beers in one hand and grabbing his hand with the other, she pulled him towards the kitchen. "But let me first feed my lord." "And what does my wench have to offer as sustenance tonight?" She cocked an eye at him, not sure if she liked the term wench, but when she shrugged it sheepishly, she decided to blow it off. There were, after all, plain. "I have steaks, salad, and rice. Does that meet your approval?" "That sounds divine." He switched back to his normal voice. "Do you want a beer before supper?" "Sure, I'll have one." She grabbed the steaks and utensils. "Let's take them out to the patio. I can keep a better eye on the steaks that way." She started the grill on the side burner for the rice, allowing the butter to melt in the saucepan. She sat down at the patio and took a swig of her beer. It was so cold and perfect. She glanced over at Drew, who was suddenly very quiet. He was staring at the grill, his beer halfway gone. "Hey, gorgeous, a penny for your thoughts," she smiled. He tore his gaze away from the grill and smiled at her. It wasn't lost on her that his smile didn't reach his eyes. Something was definitely wrong.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.